Good morning. I'm looking kind of shiny in this light. I got my new light. Awesome. All right, so I'm live here in our community on Facebook, right? I look a little crazy this morning, but hey, it's how we roll at my house. I'm excited to talk to you guys about your third eye on meditation and to give you some more tips. This is all part of the 3-day meditation challenge to help you gain more peace during chaos, right? So finding peace in the chaos. Plus, I have coffee. I have some really great statistics for you about your third eye. I know a lot of people, like, as soon as you see the third eye, you're like, oh my gosh, I want to learn about this training. And so, this is my jam, right? I love to teach intuition and mediumship development. I love to help you guys tap into your gifts. And meditation is the huge part. Like, if anybody ever asks me, like, what's the number one thing that you can tell me to develop my intuition, meditation. So I'm going to start recording this for the podcast too. So hold on real quick and then we'll dive right in to the training. Record on this computer. So, you guys, I'm recording this awesome training for the Craving Consciousness podcast. Right now, I'm actually live in your Spiritual Awakening community, but I wanted to record this because there's so much value in this conversation, in this training about your third eye on meditation. And yes, oh yeah, Karen, I'll probably be talking all the way till you go. So, anyway, guys, yes, good morning, everybody. Thank you for letting me know you're here live. I love you guys so much. And I'm really excited to share this information with you guys about, what happens to your third eye. Opening your third eye on meditation essentially is what happens. So your third eye is known as your pineal gland. It's also known as the gateway to your soul, gateway to consciousness. It's pretty much in the center of your brain. Most people's third eye is calcified, so it's really hard. It's dense. It's very dense. And your third eye really produces a lot of chemicals. Again, I don't know. Good morning, Rochelle. Happy birthday. I don't know the name of the chemicals offhand, but you guys will just jive with this. It releases these chemicals and these frequencies in your brain that when your third eye is activated, you have access to a broader and different reality. You become more aware. I'm gonna do another a little training about which dimension you're operating on my Instagram stories today. So if you're not following me there, come and join me at Spiritual Awakening Babe. But that's part of this is your third eye is becoming activated and you have access to more information, right? So when we meditate, what happens is you start getting that dense third eye, right? I'm knocking on my desk to show how freaking dense your third eye could be. It starts to make it more malleable. It's almost say you had have you ever had a knot in your muscle and you start to massage it out and then slowly but surely that knot in your muscle goes away? Well, kind of think of it that way. Is when you're meditating, you're massaging that third eye muscle, and then it starts to be able to secrete its little chemicals, and it actually activates parts of your brain. It actually, it opens up dormant areas of your brain is what happens, and you start to have a broader awareness of the spectrum of reality. I literally was telling one of my coaching clients that's having a little tough time with the law of attraction right now, and really it broadens your reality so that you have more awareness to your power, I guess essentially is what I'm trying to say, and a broader spectrum of reality. That's what I was trying to say, is that really we only see 0.0035% of the spectrum. So can you just imagine, and that's just visible light, right? Can you imagine how much you're not even aware of, right? How much you can't perceive, when we're talking about past lives and future lives and time and the fact that it all exists right now, all of that's happening right now, but you're not able to perceive it because of your limited awareness, right? But what happens with your third eye when you meditate, it starts to become more malleable and it starts to stretch out, but it also awakens dormant areas of your brain where you're able to perceive different things. And that's when we start getting our downloads and stuff, right? So it just becomes so much more expansive. And I always remember my tree, right? If you guys have been following me for any time, you know about Cheryl, my mighty maple tree that's in my yard in northern Michigan. And I just remember like just seeing her the very first time and just totally feeling her, and then coming to find out that trees, right? You know how they have their roots that go way, just the roots are as deep as the tree is long. That's my daughter calling me. I hope I'm not frozen. Anyway, what was I saying? So the tree's roots are as deep as they are tall, right? But also their energy goes out, and it's like, so if all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, that tree over there is so beautiful, it's because that tree kind of reached out to you. So if you can imagine your third eye being that expansive, then you're starting to perceive shit that's way over there, picking up more and more and more on what's really out there, right? So another thing, you guys, I've talked about this before, but because we're talking about a third eye, I'm going to talk about it again. The dunce cap. You guys remember like the princesses or Merlin or the dunce cap, right? One of our group members shared this with me like a few years ago, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's true that they wore those hats, right, to kind of hone in the energy from the cosmos and to bring it down through the hat and into their brains, right? So back in the day, like way back, when kids were sent to the corner with a dunce cap, it was so that they could be quiet and get information to come down through that cap, right? But it comes down through that third eye, the crown chakra, right, and to the third eye. Another thing about the crown chakra, right? That's where we receive information from the cosmos, from the quantum, from the infinite possibility. So having that crown chakra is open too, and that's what helps with meditation as well. So there's some points on your third eye, right? And also, remember we talked about yesterday that meditation is going to burn the stress off. But the more you could sit in the nowhere and be no one and be nobody, right? The easier it's going to be for you to manifest. And that's what I was talking to my client today about the law of attraction. Is you, like a lot of people, especially right now, they're operating on what they see, right? So they're operating on what media is telling them, not just even the news, just everywhere, right? They're operating on what they see. So if you're trying to manifest and you're only operating on what you see, you're going to fuck yourself up, right? But meditation, when you're nowhere, nobody, and you could be no thing, you get completely out of your way. So if you're going through a really hard time right now, you need to double up on your meditation practice, right? Especially if you're trying to manifest something, if you're not feeling secure and safe, then now is the time to double up, triple up on your meditation, because the more you could get out of your own way by, as in not thinking or feeling anything negative, the more the law of attraction can step in and give you what it is that you want, right? So, hi, thanks for letting me know you're here, LV. So also, I want to give you some more tips right now on and techniques to try for your meditation practice. If you haven't watched day one or listened to day one, it's a couple episodes ago, regardless if you're listening to the podcast or if you're on my YouTube channel or in the Your Spiritual Awakening community on Facebook, check out that first one because it gives you lots of techniques to use. But I'm going to give you guys some more techniques. First, I want to talk about insomnia. Like, how many of you guys have insomnia? Hello. Like, I usually will get it around the full moon. So also pay attention to if you have insomnia when it's happening. Most of the time, though, your insomnia is due to stress. Insomnia is a symptom of stress, or the stress is the symptom of insomnia, vice versa, right? So insomnia, that's stress on your nervous system. Meditation burns the stress away. So if you're having insomnia, you also need to start having more meditation practice. 15 minutes a day, 5 days a week minimum, people. All right. But here's a great technique that you can use when you have insomnia, right? Because when you wake up and you have insomnia, it really sucks. So how you can get out of that is by using a mantra. And that's what I use when I have insomnia. There's so many different mantras that you can use. I have my own technique that I learned a long time ago from my meditation teacher. That's kind of a sacred technique. So I'm not supposed to share it. But I could give you something that is similar to it. So there's like Om, right? Or Om Mani Padme, or those little sayings, right? So you could say Om, or you could just say peace, or you could just say love. You can really connect to whatever word that it is that you want. If you want to get super sacred, then you're going to want to be using something like Om. And it's more like Aum, right? Aum. So when you wake up with when insomnia, you just say that Om, and then let your mind go blank. And then remember yesterday I was talking about the retaining wall, how all of a sudden your thoughts will start bubbling up over that retaining wall, and you could feel it coming. You could feel the thoughts are starting to come. Then you just go back to the Om, right? And this is what I do. And then you just be like blank, and just be aware of the nothingness in your forehead. And then when you could start feeling it coming again, then go back to the mantra Om, right? You could do this as your meditation practice in the waking hours too, but I'm sharing my insomnia technique with you guys, right? So insomnia is stress. That means you need to meditate more. So when is a great time to meditate? You guys, a lot of people try to meditate in the nighttime and they end up falling asleep. That's fine, because you end up falling asleep in a meditative state. But if you really want to get more out of it, I recommend doing it in the morning after you get up. Some people just do it right as they get up. That might be, you might fall back asleep. But after you get up and you're awake for a few minutes, go ahead, sit back down, have your back straight, make sure your legs aren't crossed, and start going with the breath, right? I'm breathing in, I'm breathing out, and soon you're going to get to that sweet spot, right? So I wanted to cover, some tips. So do it in the morning. Use some of these mantras, right? To help you. If you're having insomnia, use the mantra when you're having insomnia. And then morning time meditation, I feel, is best. The best thing you could do after meditation is to journal, because you're usually going to get a download. And I've done some other trainings for you guys too, is you can set a beautiful intention before your meditation. I'll set an intention like, okay, I want content, because you guys know I'm always here giving you free, valuable information. So I'll be like, okay, I want to know like 20 topics that I want to do Facebook Lives on, or when I'm in a launch, because I'm like always in a launch, right? You guys are so welcome. And so when I'm getting ready to do a launch, I'll be like, what kind, really help me feel my target client. Like I really want to feel where my client's at. I want to embody her. I want to feel her energy. I want to look around. I want to feel her struggles. And then I'll just dump it onto my thing. Or you could say, what do I need to do right now to be a better parent, right? Or what do I need right now to really heal myself? And just go in with an intention, and you will get a download. You can also, something I always do with my meditation, there's another tip for you guys, is I always sit down and I set kind of that intention, but I always say, spirit guides, angels, and past loved ones, be here with me right now, right? I'm always inviting my spiritual team. And another amazing technique that I'll give you guys is to ask for Archangel Michael and Archangel Raphael. I ask for them to come often. And I don't do this every meditation, but if I'm feeling stress, right? Or I'm feeling like I have my attention on 100 million things. Like I got to do this Facebook Live, and like we're going to get ready to launch something again. And so LB's saying, I say her intention is, what does it require for me today? What does it require for me today? So she might, so she's just asking, what is going to come through my meditation practice today that's going to help me? So yeah, I always invite my spiritual team, but sometimes when I'm feeling that stress or I'm feeling like my energy is all over, and I talk a lot about your energy being distributed and you need to call it back. Meditation helps you do that. But another great technique is, again, asking for Archangel Michael and Archangel Raphael. I ask for Archangel Michael just to cut all the cords of all my energy that's going to a million people. Even if somebody's talking about me, right? A piece of my energy might go there unbeknownst to me. So I ask them just to cut all of it, cut it all off. And then I ask Archangel Raphael to like vacuum me off, right? That's a technique. You could ask for them to vacuum all the crud off of your auric field, all the crud off of your human meat suit, off your chakras, and they will really do some work for you. And if you get really quiet and if you're really super present, you might feel it. And it's so groovy when you feel your spiritual team around you. And the more you meditate, the more you're going to be aware of these energies. Like we had a girl on watching on YouTube the other day. I think her name was Elvira. And she was saying that when she meditates, she could feel tickles on her face and she could feel energy like moving in and out. And that's what starts happening. You start to become aware of what's really always been there. And that's why I get so geeky about teaching you guys about energy, about frequency, about intuition, about mediumship, about consciousness, and about your role here on this planet as a light worker, right? Isn't it an amazing time to be alive? Like, what an amazing time to be alive right now. So I hope you guys really love these techniques and on what happens to your third eye on meditation and the techniques to try to help you be more consistent in your meditation practice so that you can find more peace when there's chaos, but also just really come into yourself and come into your abilities. So I stopped recording for the podcast. Super grateful that you guys joined me live today. I hope you guys have a beautiful, beautiful weekend. I hope you guys really have been enjoying this free 3-day meditation challenge. Please feel free to invite your spiritual friends to our community. We're like 48 people away from 5,000 people. That just makes me so excited that Spirit has sent almost 5,000 people to be part of my community, our community. Isn't it amazing that you guys can post something in here and people will be answering you, and you know that you're not crazy and you're not alone. Hey, Stephanie. One of my first marriage prediction, right? And they're still married. Where's the baby? I'm like, is the baby coming? Anyway, I love you. And hey, Emma, I love you too. So, all right, you guys have a beautiful weekend, and I will be back here on Monday with another valuable training. Reach out to me if you need a little extra support during this time. I am super grateful for you to be in my life. So have a great day, you guys. Bye.